So I managed to graduate college without like a burgeoning alcohol addiction or a permanent STD, which I think, statistically speaking, puts me ahead of at least some of the people in this room. But I certainly made my fair share of mistakes, most of which were 100% unforced errors. And when I think about them, I've noticed that like what connects a lot of them is that they can be directly attributed to what is simultaneously my most distinctive and least appealing characteristic, which is that I desperately need to be right about everything all the time. And I've always been an obnoxious know-it-all. My parents are here and can attest to that fact. But college introduced me to a lot of terms like biblical hermeneutics and dialectical materialism, which I think really allowed me to kind of up my game on that front, like push me into the ranks of the insufferable know-it-all. And yeah, I'd say by senior year, I was like absolutely that kid that maybe all of you can picture in class. Like not the smartest kid in class at all. Just the kid who needed to seem like the smartest kid in class, right? Like sat in the front row and had an opinion, like a condescendingly voiced opinion on every goddamn subject or discussion. Like that was absolutely me. And I ended up double majoring in French and anthropology because who needs marketable skill sets, I guess, I don't know. And my senior year, I was in a seminar class. It was a French seminar, the subject of which was human sexuality in the body, and it was me and 7 other girls and Brad. And guys, yeah, Brad. Brad was tall and blonde and wore a lot of hemp necklaces and flip-flops every day, even in the middle of winter, and smelled vaguely like beer and weed all the time, and once said to me, in all seriousness, I think people have a lot of trouble handling my intensity, but that's like mostly because my central philosophy is just like balls out, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Didn't matter, guys. He was the only straight male French major at that school, and I was in love with him, okay? In my defense, I have terrible taste in men, but the only other person of note in that class was a girl who I'm just gonna call Candy because she was a stripper. For real, she stripped to pay for college. That is a thing that exists in real life and not just some screenwriter's fever dream, okay? And I did not approve of Candy, which I told myself at the time was because of my staunch feminist principles, but was actually because she wore a lot of low-cut tops and got what I thought was an inordinate amount of attention from Brad, aka the love of my life. But worse than that, guys, way worse than that, was that she was better than me at French by a lot. And if you're a know-it-all, that is like tantamount to a declaration of war, right? Like she was basically my arch nemesis in that class, okay? And I want to be so clear, this rivalry was entirely one-sided. She was like completely unaware of the seething tensions underpinning our interactions in class. So she was certainly unaware when those tensions came to a head at the end of the year, when it was time for me to give sort of my big like end of semester presentation, like 1/3 of my grade kind of a thing. And I had picked the subject of tattoos and tattooing. We were all hanging out after class, and the professor turns to me and says, "Oh, Liz, remember, your presentation is next week." I go, "Great." I go to leave. And then Candy turns to me and she says, "Bon, Liz, pourquoi présentes-tu sur les tatouages? Tu en as bien." And of course, because I understood her, I was like, "Oh, wait." And at this, Brad goes, "You have a tattoo? That's super cool. Where is it?" And then I realized I have made a mistake. I thought she said, "Are you presenting on tattooing?" So I said, "Yeah." But that is not what she said, guys. What she said was, "Why are you presenting on tattooing? Do you have one or what?" But now I've made this mistake in front of her, and this has garnered me the attention of Brad, the love of my life. So instead of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I don't have a tattoo," what I said was, oh, it's right here. Again, want to be so clear. My ass is on the short list of places I'm never getting a tattoo. I don't know why I picked that, but okay. And I don't even have time to register what a terrible idea this is before the professor jumps in and says, "Oh, well, will the story of your tattoo be in your presentation?" So, like, I have time to pull this out, okay? Like, I can write this ship, and instead, I open my stupid mouth, and I say, "Absolutely, it's a great story." So, now I'm gonna have to talk about this non-existent tattoo, what it is, why I got it, and most importantly, why no one is allowed to see it. And like the panic starts to set in as I'm leaving class, and I have this moment where I genuinely think that maybe I should just get a tattoo. Maybe I should get a tattoo and be that person, right? Like maybe I want one, I don't know. And then I remember that I've got 4 days to come up with a good lie, and I need to calm down. Because any effective liar, any accomplished liar will tell you there are 3 rules to effective lying. The first one is the appearance of confidence. I'm a know-it-all, I've already got it. Rule number 2 is to keep the lie as close to the truth as possible, or to weave it in with the truth, okay? It helps you to sell yourself on your own bullshit. And then rule number 3 is you want to keep it simple. Extraneous details are suspicious, and they're hard to keep track of as time goes on. So, I decide to wear a dress on the day of the presentation, right? Obviating any questions about why they can't see it. And then, so I've decided, I got my tattoo because I'd gone on this field research trip to Nepal and it had been really epic and meaningful and whatever, and determined my decision to join the Peace Corps, and, you know, I just got a tattoo to commemorate that, which was true, except for that part at the end, right? So, the amount of energy and time that I poured into picking my fake tattoo is embarrassing to me 10 years after the fact. Because Brad was gonna be in the audience, right? Like, I needed this tattoo to communicate a lot of things about me, right? Like, I needed it to make it clear, like, obviously that I'm cool, but also that I'm, like, worldly and sophisticated and, like, maybe a little dangerous, but also potentially fuckable, but also that I'm a real classy lady, okay? So. Like, the stakes were very high. And I won't even go into the things that I considered and then rejected, mostly because I don't remember, but also because I failed to see how anything could have been worse than what I picked, which was the Om symbol, which, no, okay, for those of you who don't know, it's a sacred symbol in Buddhism, and is also, for those of you who do know, it is none of those things. It is not one of those things that I needed it to be. I already know that, whatever. I don't know why I picked it. And the day the presentation rolls up, and I am so keyed up on adrenaline, like I am ready for the 20 questions that are surely coming about this tattoo, right? Except everything goes fine. Everything's smooth. Nobody asked me any questions, which at the time I thought was because I'd spun such a good yarn, but is actually because why the fuck would anyone lie about that? Why? No one would lie about that. You don't benefit from lying about that. So, and you know, I would love to tell you that Brad had some like revelation about my classy fuckability or whatever, but of course he did not, of course. And now there are 9 people just like out there in the world who think I have an Om symbol tattooed on my ass, and which is horrible. But on the upside, you know, I did learn that, you know, lying just to get out of a tough or uncomfortable situation is usually just as easy as the truth. And in any case, is better than getting shown up by the stripper in your French class. Thanks.